US President Donald Trump has announced a sweeping and many would say unprecedented set of measures to protect Americans from the coronavirus outbreak. They include banning all travel from Europe for 30 days, offering small businesses low-interest loans and workers payroll tax cuts. Earlier, European countries took some countermeasures of their own. Choi Jeong-yoon reports.
Reacting to the WHO's designation of COVID-19 as a pandemic, economic indices worldwide are flashing warning signs. Wall Street and other world markets have been plummeting, with the Dow plunging into bear market territory on Wednesday for the first time since the 2008 global financial crisis. Making matters worse, global oil prices also nosedived around 30% earlier this week after Saudi Arabia triggered an oil price war. In response, the U.S. has announced wide-ranging economic measures to combat the outbreak. Speaking to the American people directly from the Oval Office on Wednesday evening, President Trump announced unprecedented emergency actions to provide financial relief for American workers sidelined by the coronavirus.
I am instructing the Small Business Administration to exercise available authority to provide capital and liquidity to firms affected by the coronavirus. This action will provide more than $200 billion of additional liquidity to the economy.
He asked the Congress to add $50 billion to the loan and waiver program. Trump said he wanted Congress to greenlight an emergency payroll tax cut, tax relief, and waivers for American businesses negatively impacted by the outbreak. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York also announced Wednesday that it would increase its lending in short-term funding markets in a bid to calm investors' fears over the havoc taking place in the financial market. The regional Fed will increase its daily overnight REPO operations to at least $175 billion, an increase from the previous $150 billion. Europe is also taking action. The Bank of England on Wednesday announced an emergency to cut its benchmark rate, slashing it from 0.75% to 0.25%. And a matter of hours after the Bank of England's decision, Britain also unveiled a $39 billion economic stimulus plan to minimize the risk of a recession caused by the COVID-19 outbreak. The European Central Bank is also pumping an extra 25 billion euros into the EU economy as well. Choi Jeong-yoon, Arirang News.